Although you can't get rich simply by emulating their every move, something is fascinating about learning how billionaires invest their money. Consider how much is at stake for the super wealthy individuals we will mention. Their relationships with insiders, politicians, and corporate leaders can provide them with unique insight into where to put their money. Studying the equities billionaires are buying and selling can be useful for retail investors, as they are usually advised by the most successful money managers in the world. There's a reason why the rich get even richer. Hello there, folks. In this video, we'll run down 10 of the most recent top stock picks from the billionaire class. Keep in mind, this list is for entertainment purposes only, and we're not offering stock picking advice. But before we get into it, if you are a subscriber, first, thank you and welcome back to GenXYZ Finance and Technology. But if you're new to this channel, thank you still, and make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to be updated as we upload more videos, and turn that thumbs up blue as we play on. So without further ado, we'll start with number 10, NIO Inc., a Shanghai-based electric automaker that creates high-performance battery-powered vehicles. NIO also has a stake in the electric battery production industry. It opened its factory in 2020, which has helped decrease the car's price by about 25%. William Li launched the company in 2014, and the business announced earlier this month that it delivered more than 7,000 electric vehicles to consumers in March, well exceeding sales expectations. After U.S. President Biden announced a fresh proposal to expand government investment in clean energy vehicles last month, the shares of electric vehicle makers soared. NIO's stock jumped after the announcement and has been steadily increasing since then. NIO saw investment by 34 hedge funds out of 887 in the Insider Monkey database at the end of the fourth quarter of 2020, down from 35 out of 817 in quarter 3 of 2020. In quarter 4 of 2020, the total value of these hedge fund stock holdings was over $2.6 billion, up from $1.4 billion the previous quarter. Number 9. MERCK & Co. MERCK & Co. is a pharmaceutical company based in the United States that manufactures medicines, vaccines, biologic therapies, and animal healthcare products. Keytruda, the top immunology medicine used to treat cancer patients, is the company's most well-known product. The company's market worth is over $200 billion, and its yearly revenue is close to $50 billion. Last year, the company's cancer medication alone generated at least $11 billion in sales. Merck was owned by 82 hedge funds out of 887 in the Insider Monkey database at the end of the fourth quarter of 2020, up from 80 out of 817 in quarter 3 of 2020. In the fourth quarter of 2020, the total value of these hedge fund stock holdings was over $71 billion, up from $63 billion the previous quarter. Number 8. Wells Fargo & Company. Wells Fargo & Company is a financial services firm based in California. In terms of market capitalization, it is one of the world's largest banks. Henry Wells and William Fargo created it in 1929. Wells Fargo has over 8,000 branches and more than 13,000 ATMs across the United States. The bank also has a global presence, serving tens of millions of customers in more than 35 countries. In recent years, the corporation has begun to shift its focus away from retail banking and into industrial financial services. Wells Fargo was invested by 99 hedge funds out of 887 in the Insider Monkey database at the end of the fourth quarter of 2020, up from 90 out of 817 in quarter 3 of 2020. In the fourth quarter of 2020, the total value of these hedge fund stock holdings was over $8.7 billion, up from $8.4 billion the previous quarter. Number 7. Berkshire Hathaway. Berkshire Hathaway is a holding company based in Nebraska that owns several substantial enterprises in the United States, as well as minority shares in several of the world's largest corporations. Oliver Chase established it in 1839, and the corporation is the world's 9th largest publicly traded enterprise. The corporation is also well known since it is owned by Warren Buffett, an American business magnate. The investor has a reputation for making long-term bets based on solid fundamentals and value. Berkshire was acquired by 110 hedge funds out of 887 in the Insider Monkey database at the end of the fourth quarter of 2020, up from 109 out of 817 in quarter 3 of 2020. In the fourth quarter of 2020, the total value of these hedge fund stock holdings was over $20.7 billion, up from $19.5 billion the previous quarter. Number 6. Square Inc. Square is a digital payments and financial services firm based in San Francisco, founded in 2009 by Jack Dorsey and Jim McClevey. The Square Stand, a device that turned the Apple iPad into a point-of-sale system for retail transactions, the Square Reader, a device that accepts credit card payments by connecting to a smartphone through the audio jack, and the Square Register, an actual point-of-sale system for small businesses that accepts card payments, are just a few of the products that the company has brought to the retail market. Square was invested in by 89 hedge funds out of 887 in the Insider Monkey database at the end of the fourth quarter of 2020, up from 73 out of 817 in quarter 3 of 2020. In the fourth quarter of 2020, the total value of these hedge fund stock holdings was over $8.8 billion, up from $6.5 billion the previous quarter. Number 5. The Walt Disney Company. The media and entertainment giant based in Los Angeles was founded in 1923 by famed animator Walt Disney. Large financial entities own the majority of Disney stock. The corporation owns and manages numerous film studios, theme parks, consumer products, television channels, and cruise ships all over the world. A recent cash juggernaut has been added to the Disney portfolio in the form of the Apple Plus subscription service. Mickey Mouse is one of the most well-known branded characters throughout the world and has been developed almost a century ago by Walt Disney. Disney saw investment by 144 hedge funds out of 887 in the Insider Monkey database at the end of the fourth quarter of 2020, up from 112 out of 817 in quarter 3 of 2020. In the fourth quarter of 2020, the total value of the shares held by these hedge funds exceeded $16 billion, up from $8 billion the previous quarter. Number 4. Apple Inc. Apple is a technology firm based in California that primarily produces and sells electronic products such as the iPhone. It is also involved in cloud computing, navigation, and computer software and hardware. More than 1 billion Apple products are in use throughout the world, and the company also operates the world's largest online music store, iTunes. It also recently debuted a digital streaming service. Because of its fame and magnitude, Apple is considered the most valuable brand in the world. Apple was owned by 146 hedge funds out of 887 in the Insider Monkey database at the end of the fourth quarter of 2020, up from 134 out of 817 in quarter 3 of 2020. In the fourth quarter of 2020, the total value of these hedge fund stock holdings was over $141 billion, up from $127 billion the previous quarter. Number 3. Tesla. Elon Musk's super brand Tesla is a California-based automaker that focuses on developing and selling electric vehicles globally. The company is also involved in the clean energy sector. It manufactures batteries, solar panels, and other energy-related items. The company's electric vehicles are extremely popular, and the Tesla Model 3 is the best-selling plug-in electric car on the planet. Tesla also has a facility in China where demand for electric vehicles is growing as part of the government's climate change initiative. In a relatively short period of time, Tesla has seized an enormous piece of the auto market and has become one of the most valuable companies on Earth. Tesla is owned by 68 hedge funds out of 887 in the Insider Monkey database at the end of the fourth quarter of 2020, up from 67 out of 817 in quarter 3 of 2020. In the fourth quarter of 2020, the total value of these hedge fund stock holdings was over $123 billion, up from $87 billion the previous quarter. Number 2. Microsoft. Microsoft is a multinational based in Washington state that specializes in computer software. Electronics and other internet-related services are also developed and sold by the corporation. After selling computer software in the second half of the 21st century, Microsoft gained a household name with the introduction of the personal computer and their Windows operating system. Despite the increase of intense competition during the previous 2 decades, the company is still among the top software makers in the world. 258 hedge funds out of 887 in the Insider Monkey database had positions in Microsoft at the end of the fourth quarter of 2020, up from 234 out of 817 in quarter 3 of 2020. In the fourth quarter of 2020, the total value of these hedge fund stock holdings was $52.8 billion, up from $42.1 billion the previous quarter. And now down to our last, but definitely not the least, number 1, Amazon.com. Amazon is another multinational technology company based in Seattle that manages one of the world's largest e-commerce enterprises. The corporation has also grown to become one of the largest technology firms in the United States in recent years. Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos is one of the world's wealthiest individuals. Cloud computing, publishing, digital streaming, and artificial intelligence are all businesses in which the company has an interest. Amazon is also the country's second largest private employer. 273 hedge funds out of 887 in the Insider Monkey database have positions in Amazon at the end of the fourth quarter of 2020, up from 245 out of 817 in quarter 3 2020. In the fourth quarter of 2020, the total value of these hedge fund stock holdings was $51.6 billion, up from $43.7 billion the previous quarter. All of these stocks are dominators in their industries and so make for a pretty safe holding. Tesla is clearly leading the way forward in individual transportation, Amazon sells everything to everyone, and Apple is in the majority of people's pockets with their ubiquitous iPhone. The rest are also leaders in their respective sectors with huge market share and a stable foundation. If you've enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so we can continue giving you the best content fresh and new. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.